So welcome back to the long stocks. Today I'll be talking about Workhorse stock and my plan for Workhorse stock going into Tuesday. Now I do want to say that this is just my personal opinion and I am not at all a financial advisor. So firstly I'd like to take a look at Fuzzy Panda research report at which they had published on the 8th of October, as we can see. Now I do want to say that Fuzzy Panda is actually shorting Workhorse, which is why I would expect a lot of negative information coming from the report. Now it says here Workhorse USPS bid has numerous critical failures, and over here, Workhorse rode a USPS prototype truck down a hill accidentally after their parking brake failed, causing a Union USPS driver to be hospitalized after jumping out of the runway vehicle. Now I do want to say that there is no credibility in this because they do not actually provide an exact date at which the incident has happened, so I do think that it would play an important crucial role to the USPS contract bidding for Workhorse if this actually had happened with a credible report. So I just take a look at insider selling, and it says here that, are you surprised that insiders are selling? Well, actually, this is a common mistake made by many new investors in the stock market, even myself, when I've just started investing in the stock market. Well, the first things first is that you need to realize that directors of publicly traded companies usually get paid in the form of shares. Now, there is a rule that has been established by the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, in 2000. It says that they only allow insiders of publicly traded corporations to set up a trading plan for selling stocks that they own. It's also good to take note that the Rule 10b-5(1) allows major holders to sell a predetermined number of shares at a predetermined time. This is also used by many corporation executives to avoid accusations of insider trading. Now I'd like to talk about a little bit on the upcoming potential negative catalysts for Workhorse stock. The first one would be the quarter 3 and quarter 4 revenue miss of the Wall Street estimates. Now I do think that Workhorse will not actually be hitting those estimates well until after they receive the USPS contract. Now the second point is about Lordstown Motors SPAC, since they do have a 10% stake in Workhorse if it doesn't close or it gets delayed. Now, luckily enough, on the 9th of October, Diamond Peak Holdings Corporation, DPHC, has actually filed its SEC for the upcoming special shareholders meeting to be happening on this 22nd of October 2020. As we can see over here, this is the SEC filing. Diamond Peak Holdings Corporation to have a special shareholders meeting on the 22nd of October 2020 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Now it also says here the business combination proposal to consider and vote for the merger to Lordstown Motors. So I do indeed think that Lordstown Motors will be going through with the reverse merger with Diamond Peak Holdings Corporation. So I don't think that this would actually be a big of a threat to Workhorse. Now the last point, which is the most important point, most importantly, where USPS is expected to announce its contract by the end of the year. According to BTIG analysis, the Workhorse downside is about $1 a share if the USPS contract does not go to Workhorse. Now firstly, I do agree with the downside part. Workhorse was trading at about $1 a share earlier in this year, and I do think that they would have to get a majority of the contract in order to keep its $30 a share pricing. However, I do think that they have a very good chance at getting the contract. So let's take a look at Workhorse website. It says delivery vans, delivery drones, and telematics, which I really like about Workhorse. And if we move down over here, we can take a look at the blue chip customers. This is what I really like. We have UPS, DHL, FedEx. All these 5 companies are very, very big. And we also have to take into account that out of the 3 companies running for the USPS contract, Workhorse is the only fully electric vehicle company, which is why I think they would get a big part of the contract. And we also get to look at their partners, Hitachi, Duke, Ryder, and Prefix, which I like a lot. So now I'll be talking about my plan for Tuesday and Monday coming to the Workhorse stock. So first things first, we can actually see that we had a huge green day after Barron's posted that Workhorse is going to get the contract, most likely, because the request of proposals due to the USPS by July 14th and 90 days after that, which is this Tuesday on the October 13th. So we saw a really big green day, and to be honest, we were trading at about $30 a share right before the market saw a little bit of red days for about a week, and we cooled off and bottomed out at about $20, at which we climbed back up to about $28, and then we cooled off. We saw a little bit of profit taking on the 29th and 30th, which is the end of the government fiscal year. Many people expected the USPS contract to be announced then. It did not get announced. We saw a sell-off again into the 2nd of October, which we closed and bottomed out at about $23 or $22. And then we climbed back up and cooled down and have been trading at that range ever since, until the announcement was made that many people think that USPS contract will be announced on Tuesday, which was why you saw a huge green day up. And another thing I would like to talk about is the short seller and the short volume of Workhorse stock. I do expect a very big short squeeze on Monday, coming into Monday. And of course, as you can see, the short volume actually doubled from 5 million to about 11 million on the 9th of October from the 8th of October. So I do see a very, very big short squeeze happening on Monday. Now, that being said, I don't really like to hold shares through a big event like this, especially with Workhorse depending so much on the USPS contract. I actually think that many of the run-ups have actually priced in the USPS contract going to Workhorse. So when I see the short squeeze happen on Monday, I do expect a very, very high upside, maybe even to $30. And if it breaks $30, I'll sell my shares, many of them, and cut my position and only hold an amount of shares that I'm comfortable with holding through the announcement on Tuesday. Because if we do not get an announcement on Tuesday, I see a huge sell-off. Lastly, I would like to say that I would really appreciate if you could leave a comment on how I can improve these videos and what type of content you would like me to cover. Whether it would be more of the option side or the stock side, and turn on notifications, and of course subscribe. Thank you.